player that I kind of have an affinity for. I've seen him play out in the Arizona Fall League. You might know his older brother, but this one is Luisangel Acuna. We saw him a little bit toward the end of the season with the Mets. Kind of provided a little spark. It was part of their kind of march, to the postseason. Played some pivotal roles, playing up the middle defense, and actually providing some power, which was kind of shocking to see. Uh, Reese, I'm going to let Drew take this one first because I started with you last time. Anything to add on Luisangel Acuna, Mr. Wheeler?
Sure, thank you, sir. I just when the NL East thought it was safe from the Acuna family, Luisangel Acuna comes barging through the door and earned that call up. I do think, from the fantasy perspective, you can look at 30-ish stolen bases annually at maturity for this Acuna. I think that, like his brother, he has plus wheels, and it was interesting to see kind of that power appear, kind of materialize, Matt, as you said. I do think there could be similar fantasy value to guys like Leonis Martin, BJ Upton, maybe even Tommy Edman. I think that if that power sticks around, or if he potentially even adds some power, we might be looking at, fellow Philly fans, plug your ears, Jimmy Rollins type upside for Luisangel Acuna. I think he's an interesting player, one who I don't think he gets enough respect, honestly, from prospect heads, and I think that he's a pretty good one. And again, he was one of those memes of the Mets season last year, not quite to the level of Grimace or my favorite rapper Jose Iglesias, but a nice spark plug for the Mets nonetheless.
Yeah, I think the big question with Acuna is the power, right? The power tool long term. As I alluded to earlier, we saw a significant flash of that. At the end of the season. Reese, any thoughts here?
Yeah, I think that the power that he kind of showed is a little surprising for him. I didn't think that he would, like, when we ended up going through this whole process of ranking him, I didn't expect to put a 50 power on him. I expected like more in the 40 to 45, like, which is what I viewed him like when he was a prospect, even when he was like with the Ranger system and everything like that. But all of a sudden he started lifting the ball in the air more. And he just decided that, he's going to sell out for a little bit more impact, but it also didn't come at the expense of contact. I know it's 14 games, so you can't really take anything with like too big of a grain of salt, but he did hit 308, and like you said, he was a pivotal part of one of these gimmicks that the Mets were rolling out, whether it was the Rizzler or Grimace or something like that. But Luisangel Acuna actually had tangible like value to the team. He played a really good defensive second base. I think that is where he sort of fits in. I know Roster Resource sort of ranks him, like puts him as like the 9-hole hitter. I think that that's like a little conservative for him. I think this is a guy who maybe can kind of just allow the Mets to move on from Jeff McNeil, who's sort of entering a different phase of his career, and maybe move Jeff McNeil to the bench, maybe in a veteran sort of role and everything like that. I'm just like, I wasn't the biggest Luisangel Acuna fan coming into the season, but now I just think he's a steady major leaguer who can steal 30 bases. I think there's a chance that he could hit like 20 to 22 to 25 home runs in his best year, like I mentioned with bench. And I think he makes enough contact. I think he can play shortstop when Lindor needs a break. I think there's just a lot of different avenues for him to provide value for this team.
Yeah, this is the prospect we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show that's going to have I say a spring training battle with Ronnie Mauricio for a roster spot, but I think Mauricio's 100% going to AAA because of all the time he's missed to start the year. And I think Acuna will definitely, barring major roster additions, which is certainly possible, be at least a utility man here. Maybe more than that because we saw he can play, not that playing shortstop's a big thing when you have Lindor, checking the box, checking the lineup card at 155, 160 games, but he can play there. As Reese mentioned, he plays good second base. He could be part of the answer for center field. It's an intriguing defensive profile. Everything's plus. Good fielder, good runner. Running, this is actually best tool is double plus speed. But I'm a big fan of Acuna.